Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm here with a collection video. I'm going to be doing a collection of different Snow White books. Now basically these are books that fit into like the genre of the Snow White fairy tale, whether it's the Disney version or the original Grimm's version. I love Snow White. It is my favorite fairy tale of all time, and I have a nice collection of books. I haven't read all of them, I've only read some of them, but I'm really glad that I have a collection of Snow White books, and I hope that I can recommend some of these as your reads as well. So let's go ahead and get started on showing off these Snow White fairy tales. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with my first ever graphic novel. This is Snow White by Matt Phelan, and this is basically like a 1920s Great Depression type Snow White. The main character is named Samantha White, but she goes by Snow White, whatever. Anyway, so she's 16 years old. Her mother died when she was young. Her father is this very rich man who survived the Great Depression and falls in love with this Broadway star who's really after his money. So he mysteriously dies and Samantha gets sent off to a boarding school. But by the time she returns back from the boarding school, she's living under this Broadway star who is jealous of her beauty and hires a butcher to go and kill her, and she ends up meeting 7 men. So you can see on the back, they're called the Seven. They are homeless boys that live on the street, so they have their little adventure. And you know the rest of the story. It's a really cute little graphic novel. I loved reading this. It's one of my favorite books, if you will. I would consider it a book. There's not that much dialogue except for, the conversations. There's not really that much narration, but the art is fantastic. So if you're looking for a good graphic novel, I highly recommend Snow White by Matt Phelan. So yeah. Alright, so next up we have is Snow and Poison by Melissa de la Cruz. And this one is basically, it revolves around what some historians believe was the real life Snow White. So it's based on this woman named Sophia something another. She was a real woman who existed, and some people think that she is the real Snow White. So that's what this story is about. And I haven't read it yet, but I heard that it's pretty good. I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like. But this is a Snow White story, and it looks interesting to me. So if I think so, y'all should check it out. So that's Snow and Poison. Alright, so next up we have is a collection of Snow White stories. This is 5 Poison Apples, starring 5 different authors. So we have Sky Hoffert, Janelle Hove, Courtney Manning, Manny Morrow, and Rachel Wallen. And it doesn't say, well actually it does. The Haunting Tale of Snow White reimagined by 5 different authors: Falling Snow, Raven's Heir, The Fairest One, Red as Blood, Snowbird, and The Red Slippers. And so far I've read Falling Snow, Raven's Heir, The Fairest One, and Red as Blood. I've read the first 4. Raven's Heir is one of my favorites. The Fairest One is really good. Falling Snow, it's like a carnival type Snow White, and then Red as Blood, it's vampire-ish. I haven't read the last one, but the first 3 are pretty good. Anyways, so if you're looking for a good collection, story, book, or whatever, please check out 5 Poison Apples. I got this book off of Amazon. It really wasn't that hard to find, and I'm really glad that I stumbled upon it, so I hope you guys will check this out. 5 Poison Apples. Alright, next up I have here is Poisoned by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a book that I read a couple years ago, and it is one of my favorite Snow White books ever. It is kind of like the original Grimm fairy tale. Sophie is Snow White. She gets killed by the huntsman at the beginning of the story, but she is saved by these 7 creatures, like 7 brothers, if you will, and she's on this mission to get her real heart back because her heart was stolen from her. And she falls in love with an archer, like every Snow White character does. But I really enjoyed this book. It's a really quick read. I know it's not as popular. Some people don't really like this book, but I liked it. I thought it was really good, and this is definitely a recommendation from me. It's very quick to read. It's not hard. There are some slow parts in there, but it's not bad. But anyways, Poisoned. Alright, so next up we have here is Mirror Mirror. This is part of the Disney Twisted Tales series. This was written by Jen Colanita. And the premise of this book is, what if the evil queen poisoned the prince? So the prince is the one who has to be rescued with a kiss, not Snow White. This is based on the Disney version. I haven't read it yet, but I heard that it's really, really good. I also have some of the other Twisted Tales series books. I'll probably do a collection on that one as well, but I wanted to show this off because this is based on Snow White. So I will read this and then I will tell you what I think of it. But anyways, Mirror Mirror. Alright, so next up we have here is Sleep Like Death by Kalynn Bayron. And this is like a feminist type Snow White, but I am interested to see what it is about. I don't exactly know too much about it, but Snow White, you know. Yeah, but anyways, I'm really excited to read this, and I will let you guys know what I think. But if you guys have read this book already, please let me know what you guys think and let me know if it's any good. But anyways, Sleep Like Death. And the last one is The Evil Queen by Jenna Showalter. And this one is based on the Evil Queen, the villain of the story. We get to see a story in her point of view. And I haven't read this book yet. And I also have another copy of this book, but it's soft cover. And when I got it, I realized, oh, so now I have two different versions of the book. But I got the hardcover and I got the softcover version. But I heard this book is pretty good, pretty interesting. I'm really excited to see what they do with this one. But yeah, I like when it goes into depth about the villain of the story. So if you guys have read The Evil Queen, please let me know what you think. But yeah, The Evil Queen. And that is my entire Snow White collection. I am very happy with the amount of books that I have in the Snow White fairy tale. I also have a couple from like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty. I'll probably do a collection video of those, but if there's any book that you see in this collection that you really enjoyed, please let me know what you think. And as always, please let me know if there's any book that you would like for me to read. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later, and have a happy Thanksgiving.